All right. Here we are. Impact and Influence Radio, hanging out here on iHeart. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Blinds of Sacramento, Sacramento's complete solution window covering experts. BlindsofSacramento.com. Hanging out here today with the folks over at Dragon. Why did I want to say Dragon Force? But I'm thinking the band, right? Dragon Scale Cybersecurity. Marcus Dixon and Chris Desrod. How you guys doing?
Doing good, Quinn. How are you?
I'm good, man. It's a Monday morning, a busy Monday morning. You know, the weekends, I try to get caught up on everything. Last week we were at networking events every day of the week, and you know, I'm feeling last week still. Like my hip hurts.
I think that's called age.
That's called age. You're right. So funny. All right. So you guys came on a few weeks back and we were talking about what you guys do. You wanted to dig deeper and really tell the world what you guys are, you know, in a sense, why they need you. And we're really going to dig into this here. So explain to me, what is cybersecurity?
You want to take this one, Chris?
Sure, yeah. First off, Quinn, thanks for having us back. And we appreciate
dude.
the opportunity to talk with your clients a little bit more and your listeners and explain to them about cybersecurity. And so one of the most common questions that we get is, what is cybersecurity? And it can be a little bit kind of conceptual, if you will, but really, it's about the idea of keeping a couple of things safe, right? You, your business, your clients, your data, all of these things are things that you are entrusted to protect, right? And these are things that you have to keep track of and make sure that you're doing what you can to protect yourself and your clients and their data. And so cybersecurity really is just the practice of doing everything that we can to make sure that we have the safeguards in place. We have warning systems there to detect, you know, possible intrusions and things like that. But one of the biggest elements, again, comes back to the human element in the training, and it's shifting that mindset to being a little bit more proactive and being a little bit more careful, because, you know, the scams and things that we see and we hear about and we hear from our friends and family and clients and associates, they're on the rise, and folks.
Scams are probably one of the most lucrative industries out there. You know, you're talking. I mean, we just watched that lady that was just scammed out of $35,000. Now, you know, you and I may or may not fall for that scam, but how many have we fallen for?
Yeah.
And that's one of the important things to note, because we always hear from people, well, I don't have this on computers, or I don't do this, or I'm not connected to the internet, but we are. We are always connected, your phones, everything else. These things are coming in through calls, they're coming in through emails. They're the equivalent of the old chain letters that people used to get, but they're just using technology. In cybersecurity, we're helping you mitigate those things. So,
yeah. You know, my mom, I think I mentioned in the last one, my mom fell really, really hard on one. And I mean, the FBI came to her door, and she was in some serious trouble. And then they realized she was just an old lady that had no clue, and clear, you know, there was no crime there. Crime is an emotion of intent, right? Yes. So, you know, yeah, we might fall into the trap, but it doesn't make us a criminal. Sadly, law enforcement knows immediately whether or not you are helping that situation. And if you find yourself in a moment where you pose that opportunity as an opportunity, now you are now one of the scammers, and you go down with it. And that's, you know, people don't realize this stuff.
And it's just a turn, that slight turn of mentality that sometimes people don't know.
Yes.
And like you said, it's not intent. It's that social engineering piece that sort of gets a lot of people, which Chris alluded to when he talked about the training.
Well, the other thing is, you know, somebody gets into your phone or they call you, and they see an opportunity to scam you, and you're scamming out of, you know, the attempt is out of $20,000 or $30,000, right? And then you realize what's happening, and you realize you could be an asset to this person because it could put money into your pocket. Now you've just become the scammer, and instead of the scammy. So you wanted to you sent over some things, talking points that you really wanted to touch on today. Explain to me the difference between an IT person and someone that fixes a computer, because me personally, I thought they were kind of the same thing.
Well, yeah, when most people talk about IT, they think of, oh, my computer's broken or my printer's not connected. They need to connect that. And that's fine. That's a skill set that's readily useful and readily available to people. But a cybersecurity specialist is actually different. We come in with a security first mentality. So when we look at these things, we have sort of a zero trust mindset, which means we're not looking for what you can do. It's more like what you need to do, the minimum that you need to do with your business to keep you protected. Other things we sort of block and keep them away, so that no one from outside, no one without access needs that. We look at things from a different perspective. You break your computer, you just want it fixed. A regular break fix person, they come in, they don't care about who else may have access.
Correct.
You can even tell them to do something wrong and they just may do it, not knowing that they're leaving a whole vulnerability and a hole for people.
Well, yeah, my computer breaks here. Well, I mean, I'm a little different than most people. I would just buy a new computer, but my computer breaks, and you bring in a computer specialist to get your computer back up. The computer's back running again. Boom, we continue on. If there's still a weak link, there's still a weak link.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay, very interesting. How does a small business know when it is secure? That's actually a very, very good question. That is an insanely good question.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we like to tell people is answer yourself a few questions. There's like 5 questions that really people need to understand when they're talking about their small business. One is, do you have a cybersecurity plan written?
I'm not going to answer that question.
That is a very typical response.
It literally is. And most people, it's out of sight, out of mind. They don't want to think about it. Next is, are your systems protected? Do you have some sort of EDR or antivirus at a minimum on your system? And most people will tell us yes. And in most cases, those people think that is the end all be all.
I shouldn't be saying any of this on my show. All right. So
and those are just two of the questions.
So when I leave for work and I take the computer and I put it on, I log out. Yeah. Is my computer safe?
Not necessarily. It depends on where all your information is at.
It's on the cloud.
Well,
I don't keep anything on the computer.
If someone got to your computer and they got through your browser, and this is me getting technical, Chris, so jump in.
It's good.
If they got into your browser, they can get the password and access. If they knew how to crawl through your browser, there's another thing called a man-in-the-middle attack, where between you and your cloud, someone can place themselves and just sniff through your data. These are things that, as a cybersecurity professional, we're looking at for our clients, because we're looking at all those entry points and exit points. And so we're trying to keep you safe, but not thinking, oh, it's on the cloud, it's safe. Well, yes, it's supposed to be safe when it's there. There's miles of wire between you and that cloud. Yeah. And there's miles of opportunity that those hackers we were talking about earlier, how they could come in and intervene and get you.
Yeah.
Now, what about a small operation like myself? I'm not a bank. Yeah. Like, what kind of stuff do I have on there? Magazine covers, songs I've written. Like, I mean, there's like not that much stuff on there. In fact, on my phone, like, is an example, I don't even keep phone numbers in my phone. I think I have 21 phone numbers in my phone. I have probably 40 pictures in my phone. I don't keep anything on my devices.
Client data information, and Chris, jump in at any time, but there's also things called watering holes, places that you might want to go that a malicious attacker may learn more about you and try to get you fish
all
to go
all
toward
the credit card numbers I have are all in the computer, clearly, because I shop on Amazon,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah. And I think that's something that a lot of people feel like, Quinn, is that, if I gave you a gold bar and I told you had to keep it safe, you would find somewhere safe to hide it at home. But maybe it's better to take it to a bank and put it in a safe deposit box.
Yes, that's what I would do.
Even better than that, we could take that gold bar and we could find a way to get it into Fort Knox, right? And so there's different layers to that security. And you talk about small folks and what it is that they're protecting. And a lot of times people have that misconception. And that's one of the things that we can do as cybersecurity consultants is we do a full inventory of all of the applications that you have, all of the devices that you have, and then all of the information and the data that you have. And we talk about things like your personal data, your client's data, addresses, phone numbers, date of birth, CVV2 numbers on the
And
back
the
of
other thing
credit
is
cards.
everything is on the internet. You know that
It
you
is.
can
everything
go
is
you can
connected.
go to Google. You know, this is what's crazy is I can go to Google right now and I can pull your name up and I can find, without even paying a penny, it's just there. I can find every one of your email addresses, every phone number you've ever had, every address that you've ever lived, every person that you're connected to. I could find every single bit of that within 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Yes, and I can show you some tools that, in which case, all I need is an email from you to figure out your past passwords. That will help me crack new and existing passwords. So whether you're on internet specifically or not, your information is out there already.
That's crazy. That's crazy stuff. And here we are saying, I'm wide open, guys.
Well, and all of that information can be used to compromise your accounts, right? Folks don't think about this, but you go on social media, you post about what high school you went to, you post about your first dog. All of these are
Yes.
security questions, right?
Yes.
And these are questions and information that the bad guys can use
And
to
it's
compromise
very,
your account.
very sad, actually, because one of my credit cards, and I can say this because you still have to jump through 15 hoops to figure out which one, but one of my credit cards, and literally security question, what's the name of your favorite pet? And that's, and I say it every day on Instagram. And that's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you watch the video of the guy that guessed the PIN number of Joe Rogan?
I did not see that.
Holy crap. You've got to watch that. He literally guessed his PIN number.
Well, it's you would think that something like that is difficult. It's not, especially someone that's on a podcast where they're talking a lot, they're saying a lot of
Well,
information.
no, but what he did is he says, okay, I want you to come up with a PIN number right now. And you write it down. So he writes it down, a PIN number. And he goes, okay, so the fact that you put two numbers, the same number in the first, tells me that yours already has the same two numbers. And typically there's a probability that's not going to be a higher or lower number, but a number either one up or one down. So I'm going to guess, because the one down wouldn't make sense, I'm going to guess these are the first two. And you can just see his eyes get big. And he goes, okay, now the other two. And he used probability and he used psychology. And he asked him one question. And I don't remember what it was, but it was something like, where was your grandma born? Something simple like that. And then he was able to immediately, and he goes, okay, is this your PIN number? And he goes, whoa, dude. He goes, that's not cool. I mean, I got to find that and send that to you.
Yeah.
All right. So, let's see. All right. When should a business start cybersecurity? Clearly, like after this conversation right now.
We always say the best time to start with cybersecurity was yesterday. The second best time is today, right?
Yes.
And truly, Quinn, we have seen such a significant uptake over the last 6 months from friends, family members, clients who are calling us and they're telling us about what we call near misses. And that is, hey, my mom had this happen. Hey, one of the companies that we work with had this happen, right? They're a vendor for us. Or, hey, one of my personal friends or a family member that I know has had this happen. And so the cybersecurity realm changes daily. The number of attacks continue to increase.
And the technology's changed.
Yes.
The technology's changed. Every time we go get a new phone, all of that data is going somewhere to transfer that data onto the new device.
Yeah.
And what happens to the old device? Nobody even knows what happens to the old device. Every time we get a new computer, and here's the thing that people don't realize about, especially solid state hard drives, floppy, the old floppy disks, is the information is never removed from the device. It becomes available again to re-record over, and is only removed once something new is placed on top of it. So all that old data is on all those old hard drives.
Exactly. That's why there's a specific way that cybersecurity people tell people to dispose of those drives, and that includes up to shredding them.
Yes.
There's a specific DoD standard that we follow when we talk to our clients. Also, there is just a lot of, when it comes to data retention, even the forms, like people just throw things in their trash. Those are ways that people come in. You may think the janitorial staff is just coming in cleaning up, but you throw
janitorial staff is janitorial staff.
Exactly. And
Yeah. Yeah,
gotta
they
be
don't
safe.
have DoD clearances. Actually, it's DOW clearances now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
It took
Yeah,
him a
it took me a
minute.
second. I had to think about that.
All right, so we're gonna stay out of that one.
Yep.
All right. And then where should they start? Clearly calling you.
Yeah, one of the first things, like you also said, when I wanted to say one thing about that it's cheaper to start at the beginning because people are always concerned with cost. Getting a cybersecurity specialist in, setting yourself up for success in advance, it's better. Having someone come in trying to save you from an incident can be very, very expensive.
Think about it sort of like an accountant, right? If you were a new business, you were starting business January 1st, and you wait until December 31st to go get an accountant and say, hey, listen, you're my accountant. I'm going to need you to file my taxes.
Correct.
What do I need to have?
Yeah.
What do I need to get in order? It's a nightmare. And you may not have access to the things that you needed to get the accountant set up and running. Same thing with cybersecurity. If you wait until you've been hacked, you wait until you've been compromised, you wait until you're locked out of something, we may not be able to get you back into that. We can get your system up and running again. I can put it back to the factory default and here's your computer, but your data may be gone. Your client records may be gone. That information may have been taken to go do something malicious already, and at that point it's outside of
Or
our
ransom.
realm. Yeah, it's Pandora's box. You can't put all of that back in.
So, what steps do you guys? Is it something that is it a proprietary? Is it like an actual peripheral unit that attaches to your computer? That's like a lock, or is it a software inside the computer? Like, explain to me what you guys do.
Well, that would be nice if it was just one thing, but cybersecurity is not one thing. It's not one tool. It's not one device. If anyone has that magic bullet for you, I'm going to tell you right now, they're lying to you. I've been in this.
Well,
business.
I'm completely lost here in the sense that what do you guys do to protect these people?
So we talked about it a little bit the last time we were on, and if folks are listening for the first time, we encourage them to go back and listen to that. Go specifically listen to the house analogy, right? It's not just the front door locks. It's not just the window locks. It's not just the camera system. It's not just the security system. It's all of those things. And so, yes, we do have software we can put on your devices. We do have network equipment that's physical standalone equipment that will make it more secure. We have the training programs that are going to help you to understand the mentality that the bad guys are using, so you know how to protect yourself and what things to look out for. There's so many different options and tools that we can use, and we truly try to find an approach that fits you and your business. And so if you don't need all of those things, fantastic. We'll save you some money.
Very interesting.
And speaking of saving money, we have a thing right now that we're doing sort of for really small businesses that have like one computer, one person.
Is that
so
why you're
forth.
here talking to me?
Yeah. That's why we're here.
That's why we're here. And it's literally $75 a month. We can't get it any lower than that. And that's bare bones minimum what a client needs. Someone that's basically does most of their work in the cloud. They need some EDR to protect their system. They need a managed service professional, just like you would have like a lawyer or accountant that you can talk to and say, hey, I'm running in this. I need some help. Can you tell me where we should be heading with our technology? Sort of like that fractional CTO type individual for a small business, because a small business doesn't have a chief technology officer.
Yeah.
And then we're also looking at adding other things like data recovery and data protection and so forth, but those things are later. But right now, the $75 special that we're running for the next month or so, and it's going to be in the ad in the magazine.
Yes,
so
yes.
The listeners get to hear about it first. So
Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay, so dragonscalecs.com, dragonscalecs.com, 916-943-7234. My dyslexia is really kicking my behind today.
You got us.
916-943-7234. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Anything you want to add before we get out of here?
Just to stay safe, folks,
Yes.
and go back, take those 3 free tips out of that first interview that we did with you guys. Get your password manager, get your credit report locked down, and reach out. Let's start the conversation. We know no one wants to talk about cybersecurity. It's not a fun thing, but it's necessary, and we can
it's getting
help you
crazier and
protect
crazier,
yourself.
especially with AI and everything now.
yes,
You know, when I look at what's going on with AI, we use it obviously every single day here with the magazine and with all the projects we're working on. It helps write the storylines for the movies. I mean, there's just so many different facets of all of this, and it could absolutely be used against you at the same time.
I mean, it can be used to help you, and we can help steer you in the right direction. So, like you said, dragonscalecs.com.
Dragonscalecs.com, 916-943-7234. Thank you, guys, again, for being here. And thank you so much for listening. Impact and Influence Radio right here on iHeart. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.